Social Nurse here. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate your time. I really do. So much is going on in the world, all kinds of back and forths, right? Because the stress level is heightened. Listen, it is illegal to refuse to treat ethnically black Americans. That's illegal. It's illegal for medical staff to refuse to treat ethnically black Americans or anyone, any race, creed, or color. It's illegal to refuse to provide the medical treatment. That's illegal, right? Discrimination is illegal in the United States, right? So this lady on the screen has asked that immigrant doctors refuse to treat ethnically black Americans. Ethnically black Americans, those of us that descend from enslaved people that were brought to the American soil. Our generational depth in this country is over 400 to 500 years concerning our families, right? But this lady made a mistake doing that, asking that doctors do not provide medical treatment to specifically black Americans, right? So she should be really careful with that type of rhetoric. It's illegal. Here in the United States, it is legal to boycott. It's legal to boycott. Here in the United States, you can decide where to spend your money or not. Right? Listen, Target, there's a mass boycott. All kinds of people are boycotting Target or boycotted Target, right? I didn't. I did not, because I know people that work at Target, right? Or people that have worked at Target. But I currently know people that work at Target, right? And they are all, different race, creeds, and colors, but some of them are ethnically black Americans too, right? So I chose not to boycott Target, but there are other stores that I don't particularly care for, and I decided to ensure that I don't frequently go to certain businesses, and I've done that for a long time because I'm intentional with where I spend my money, because that's what my parents taught us, right? Be really intentional. Try to, be very conscious of what you are doing, right? Because the struggle is real. So I don't have an African provider. I don't. My primary provider is an ethnically black American. My dentist is an ethnically black American, right? I don't, put it this way, I don't have any doctors from the continent of Africa. I have one other physician, right? That does the optometry, the eyeglass. I can't think of the word. The vision check. That is from the Far East. It is what it is, right? So, with that said, the reason why this lady on the screen said that she wants doctors to not treat ethnically black Americans is because a black lady, an African American, an ethnically black American, I don't recall what the lady referred to herself as, but she called upon ethnically black Americans to boycott African braiding shops, right? We understand that there are a lot of African braiding shops depending on what state and city you live in, right? And what I've done is not use African braiding shops for hair braiding at all, period. And there's a reason for it. The service was horrible. I've experienced some of the things that people are talking about online with the service, right? It is a heightened state of concern going on here in the United States, right? It really is. Now, I'm not going to tell anyone not to boycott the African braiding shops when I don't go to them myself, because of there's been more horrible experiences than decent. And even when you try to have the conversation with some of these Africans in the shop, it doesn't go well. It doesn't go well. So I avoid them. And the only reason that I've used them in the past is because my usual braider was not available or out of town, or for some reason, I had decided, and there was a time where I just decided, these Africans have shops. Let me, start giving them business as well whenever I could, but I don't do that anymore. Listen, some of the shops, the customer service, it is extremely beyond worse. The worst thing you could ever experience. I've experienced them being rough with the party and the handling of my hair, scalp, and the movement of my head, right? I've had them take breaks all of a sudden. You're wondering where the braider went, right? I've had them to say that they could do a style that I'm showing them in a magazine, a book of, hairstyles or a picture. And when they're done, it looks nothing like the style, right? So I do stick to, my relatives. Black women can braid. We can braid, right? Maybe not all the styles, but there are black women that can braid. Now, here was the worst experience. In this braiding shop, there was a room that was separated by like this large curtain. And the lady pulled the curtain back. That area was large, and the area where the seats are for the braiding to take place, that area was large. It just was separated by a large curtain. She pulled that curtain back. She pulled it back because the braider needed to retrieve hair for my braids, right? I was getting goddess braids. I'm sure many of you heard of goddess braids. And it really was only going to be like 5 big braids wrapped a certain way. I think those are called goddess braids, but they were wrapped like a certain way. Anyways, beautiful style that I had showed the lady. She goes to the back to get this hair. And I noticed hair was all on the floor. Unpackaged hair was on the floor. It was unkept back there. But it looked as if it was so much of it, as if they laid it out back there like that on purpose for easy access, right? So she goes and gets this hair, and she comes back to start my style. And I said, no, thank you, ma'am. No, that hair, you just picked that off the floor. And she was like, it is good. It is good. No, it's not good. I don't want you to use that on my head. Can you please get a pack that's packaged back there? If there's some that matches my hair color. We do not have that. I don't want to mock that lady, but in a percussion drum type cadence almost. She was telling me, no, I must have that hair. So I said, then I don't want you doing my hair. Then the man that was sitting at the desk gets up. He come to me. He was saying, cancellation, you must pay fee. I was like, no, I'm not paying anything. She wants to use filthy hair on my head. Anyway, they threatened to call the police, and I got a little bit frightened. I was a little afraid. I won't lie. And I paid those people $50 and got the heck out of there. I negotiated a $50 fee and left, and that was the last time I've been in an African braiding shop. So do what you think is best. Do what you think is best. Be safe out there, everyone. Be safe, social nerds.